Hello, I am Meiju and you are watching Meiju Knits Knitting Podcast. In this episode I am going to talk about more thoroughly my big news that I already told on my Merry Christmas postcard video. I have quit my day job and not yet. I haven't quit my day job, but I have resigned from my day job and it's a big decision for me, and I feel that I'm beginning something new, that it's going to be completely different for me that I ever have done, and I also wanted to tell you more about what I have been doing all these years, and more about it, how it will affect to my knitting designing. Since I have had two jobs in a way over 10 years now. I have been designing knitwear over 10 years, and then I also have had my day job too at the same time. For those of you who don't know me, I am a knitwear designer from Helsinki, Finland. I live with my husband and 3 boys. We live in northern part of Helsinki, near forests, near our central park. In a way, our Helsinki Central Park is a large forest that actually goes all the way until all the way to the Lapland. During the Corona year, I have been working from my home, doing my day job and doing my knitwear designing, and at the end of 2020 I decided to quit my day job and start designing more seriously. Also, I have a knit along going on at the moment, and I'm going to say a few words about that knit along. If you are still interested to join, you can still joining because it's going to take last until the end of February. And I received a question about the sizing of this sweater, so I'm going to go more thoroughly on the sizing issues of this sweater at the end of the video. Then I'm going to also show you some work in progresses that I have here. I don't have actually much to show you this time, but usually I'm showing some finished knits that I have done, and I'm also talking about my work in progresses, but today I have less to show you, since I'm going to talk about my big decision. First of all, who I have been during the past 18 years. I studied social psychology in University of Tampere in Finland. I have a master's degree I have a master's degree in social sciences, and I have been, when I graduated from the university, I started to work in with the same employer that I have been working the past almost 18 years. And I have all my work life, I have been with the same employer. Okay, I was interrupted. First of all, I will tell you what I have been doing all these 18 years that I have been, after I graduated from the University of Tampere. I have been, my occupation have been being a researcher. I have been doing work that is related to survey data collection. I have been studying using qualitative methods on how people understand the survey questions that they are being asked, and do they understand the questions in the same way that researchers have intended them to be understood. So, and I have been doing all kind of questionnaire designing and testing. I have been doing usability testing, doing some cognitive interviewing, doing all kinds of development work relating to questionnaire designing and making better survey methods and developing the survey methods that are being used when doing data collection. And the work has been really interesting because I have been working on different subject matters, doing all kinds of research work and leading large projects in which all the data collection modes have been shifting for interviewing to web surveys and data collection done online. So during the 18 years I have been seeing how the business of data collection have been changing, because the world has been changing so much during the past 20 years. But now even though I still found my day job very interesting and I feel that it's important work since I was working in a government organization, so I kind of served our country in a way. But I still felt that now has the time come for me to try as an independent entrepreneur, and this decision has been really big for me. It's something that I have been wondering and pondering many years actually. My passion is the knitting designing, and I have in some way I have wanted to be a full-time knitting designer for many years now, but still I also have loved my day job, and I really felt that it has been important work in a way. But now I feel that time has come for me to try out that how my knitting designing business will, how I manage in this life with my knitting designing business. And now this decision and this solution gives me opportunity to try this out. I'm a bit worried about it because I have a house mortgage, I have 3 kids, I have to make my ends meet, I have to pay my bills. But still this is something that we discussed with my husband, and I have, even though that I have now more time for my knitting designing, and I can say that I am now a full-time knitwear designer, at least for now, that I'm quitting in my day job in seven more work days, that I can use my time for knitwear designing, and still since in a way I'm not in a position that I could say that I make that much money that I could live with my knitting designing at this point. I have some other plans, but since I want to keep this podcast only knitting related podcast, I'm not going to tell you yet about those plans more thoroughly, but I will probably tell you later after I have seen how it's going to take off. But still I can say that I'm now a full-time knitting designer in a way that I have dreamt about for a few years now. At least I can say that. This year of coronavirus has been weird. It's something that I believe that we have all been struggling with this year, and in a way I can say that I am in a privileged position that I can do this decision that I have now done, but still I can't say that I'm 100% sure that this is the right decision. I'm giving myself this year to see if this is the right decision, if I can make my ends meet with the knitting designing. I really want to see how this is going to turn out to be, and I don't know yet. We'll see. Helsinki is an expensive city. I live in a house pretty near Helsinki city center, so the amount of house mortgage that we still have is huge, and my kids are growing. They need clothes all the time, so I have to pay my bills. But I'm giving myself this year to see how it goes, and I'm hoping that you will be staying on my journey. I will be making some vlog videos because I want to kind of memorize what I'm thinking now and what I'm thinking at the end of the year, and am I still thinking about the same things by the end of the year that I'm thinking now. Yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm pretty excited about this year. I have more time to actually do what I love, what my passion is, and I have lots of ideas on designing, and lots of ideas that are just waiting to get on my needles, and I'm going to start to post my newsletter more regularly. I should set up all kinds of things that I have planned. So stay tuned for those. I'm going to tell you on my Instagram and on these YouTube channels. I'm probably going to still continue this podcasting episodes, telling you more about my designs and what's happening. But I'm going to also develop these episodes to be under different subject matters or under different knitting related stuff, and in addition I'm hoping to make some vlog videos just for you to see how my year as a knitting designer goes. And then again, since I have some other plans, I'm not going to talk about those in my vlogs, probably not so much, but probably you will see some of my thoughts on those issues as well. Okay, let's go to these the knit along that I have. The knit along that I have at the moment is called Serigraphy Cowl, and I have two patterns that are eligible for the knit along. The yarns that I used in these patterns is Nurja Merino Sock. It's fingering weight Merino Sock yarn, and I have a cowl pattern. It's Meiju Cowl. It's a tube that is twisted in the Meiju shape. And then I have this sweater pattern that uses the same colorwork pattern. I probably had this on my Merry Christmas episode on me. So I received a question on sizing, and one knitter asked that this is size medium, and it looks so tight. So what is the size that I should pick up? And yeah, where was I? Yes, with the sizing. So this is size medium, and the sweater that I'm wearing now is size S+. I'm usually making size small, or from size small to size medium for me, depending on how I have sized it. I have sized and graded the sweater to be. This sweater that I'm wearing now is it has a quite large yoke, so my armhole is here. So or arm, how do I say it? This is armpit, I think. So the yoke is quite large, but in this sweater the yoke is shorter in this size. It kind of ends here. It ends more quicker or quicklier, or it's shorter in a way. So this is size M, so this is 1 meter. If I think about centimeters, it's 1 meter, if I recall it right, from the bust, and this is actually a bit smaller from the bust. But since the yoke is longer, it looks like more that I have more room here. However, since this yoke is smaller, it looks like that I have less room here, or it sits more. It's more fit in a way, or and fits more. I can't say that it fits better in a way, but it sits differently. It fits differently from from the yoke, but still it has some ease, and you can see it from the photographs that are took from the back side of this sweater. You can see that there is ease on the back, and yeah, the yoke length kind of in these kind of yoke sweaters, it makes a difference how the sweater sits on you in a way. And this is actually a bit smaller size from the bust than this, but the yoke length is different. The yoke length here is smaller. For the larger sizes, I have made this pattern to grow a bit longer for larger sizes to give more room for the yoke there. Yeah, then again, these are different yarns. This is yarn that is Finnish wool, and it's more stiff in a way. It's not just that stretchy or bouncy in a way than this yarn. This is more stretchy and bouncy, so this yarn squeezes in a bit more than this yarn in a way. And of course the gauge is a bit different. The gauge is always something that of course it has to be done, used when grading sweaters, but the length of the colorwork pattern is different here, but it's not an issue. The main issue is the yoke length and yeah, that's the main issue, and the yarn used and how it behaves, because this kind of also squeezes in and bounces more back in a way. Yeah, if you want to join the Serigraphy Cowl, I will put all the info in the box below, so you can find it from my Ravelry group, and you can join there. Or if you can't use your Ravelry, you can also join on Instagram and use the hashtag Serigraphy Cowl. So I will look all your posts with that tag. Then some work in progresses. First is beanie. I have had weird 2 weeks in a way that I have been in holidays, Christmas holidays, and our kids have been out of school because of the school holidays, and I have somehow also waited that I have more time to design and finish all my patterns. Like I have this sock pattern that is still waiting for finishing and pattern writing, and then I have this hat that was supposed to be a Christmas present, but then I'm stuck with the bind off. I can't decide if I want to do a Kitchener stitch bind off, or will I make 3 needle bind off, which I would turn the hat inside out and do the bind off from there. But this never turned out to be a Christmas present, because this was somehow waiting that I have time to finish it. But sometimes I'm hopeless with the finishing projects. They are just lying around and waiting for some larger inspiration in a way. Then I have this, this is my holiday knitting. This has been my holiday knitting. I have been knitting this during my Christmas holidays. This will be a cardigan. Very simple cardigan. It's almost all stockinette stitch, then some twisted ribbing hem, almost have one sleeve here, and then I have a button band that has knobs, and the knobs will be in a zigzag shape. You probably see something there if you see. So this is the only kind of detail of this design, the little knobs there in a zigzag shape. And I'm hoping to finish this cardigan in a few days to have one sleeve, but I haven't written any pattern yet, so this waits for pattern writing, or that I have time to write the pattern, because I'm waiting that I have time to write the pattern. That's why quitting the job has been kind of different, because it has broke my my regular timetables and my regular things, and actually brought me more work in a way that I was kind of unable doing that decision. I was unable to knit anything or design anything in the evenings. I just had to think that thing through, and I needed time for that. So that's why I'm kind of in between some projects and everything. I have 3 comments that are being test knitted at the moment. I'm hoping to publish at least one new pattern in January and at least 2 patterns in February, and then I'm hoping to publish some more in March, and of course these socks will come out hopefully someday, but I still have to find time for editing the pattern and doing things like that. Okay, that should be all for today. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being with me. If you have any questions on my this year to come, please ask on the comment box. I will try to reply to everything, and if you have anything to say, I would be happy to hear. Yeah, thank you for watching, and hopefully we'll see soon enough in my next video. Bye!